Hey there, fashion besties. Here we are back again on the Fashion Crimes podcast with your favorite personal stylist, Holly Cates. Down here in Atlanta, Georgia, we are having such an amazing time today because not only is this the bestdayever.com, we have the queen herself, actress extraordinaire, the first female black action superhero, the queen of all things gun, country, animals, horses. There is nothing that she can't fix, burn, or or put together. And we
Hey,
are
I just now learned how to start my oven. Stop.
oh well. Hey, and now look at you, a master chef. Pam Grier, welcome to the Fashion Crimes Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us.
Girl, hey, no, thank you for your energy and time. I really appreciate that because everyone has so much, especially Fridays. I got you on Friday because Fridays everyone pretend they're at work and they're not. They
I
left
know.
yesterday.
And
So
look,
you got the slot today. Everyone says, I'm working, I'm in the office. No, you're not. You're at the pool in Palm Springs. I know where you are.
Pam, thank you so much for joining us. You have been at the top of mind for all people, especially in the last 20 years. Your career has really risen again with all of the movies and the interviews. You have worked with Jonathan. I mean, we're so lucky to have done photo shoots with you. You've worked with Rick Ross. You've dated Richard Pryor. You are best friends with Quentin Tarantino. I mean, give us a little synopsis of where your life was from that little girl in Winston-Salem to now out in the mountains in Colorado doing what you do.
Uh, wow, that's a lifetime full, and if not more. I am just curious at the abundance that we have in this country. Every day, the different cultures, the foods. My family is very multiracial, and we would have cabbages and sausage, and we would have so many incredible foods and people, and every holiday was so special because it evident of evidence of love and culture and gratitude. And so when you're raised with gratitude, you're not wasteful. So every opportunity you have to go fishing, ride horses, be around animals, read books, and we always emulated our adults. If our adults read books, the kids were reading books. If the adults were drinking a Coca-Cola, we had milk or something. But if you had adults in your family, no matter, and it, no one was rich. We were, middle class, military, farmers, but the adults provided for us the perfect classroom. And not every child gets that. And that's why a lot of the neighbors' children were over at our home or we were at their home getting what we needed to be here today. And that means military, rural, urban. So you have discipline. Military people didn't know if I was urban or what. And they said, when we said I'm from Wyoming and Colorado, and they said, black people live in Colorado. I said, yeah, and I ski too. Um, and I ski, so snowmobile, just okay, anything to keep from doing the dishes. Okay, so I'm outside, but
Definitely
I love being
outdoorsy.
outside. I love being outside, but every opportunity, my friends who were writers, women in film writers in Los Angeles. I'm not familiar with Hollywood because it really doesn't exist. But the women in film, AFI, my one of my mentors was, besides Gloria Steinem, was Tamar Hoffs, who was a director. And I went to join a women in film, and she just happened to have a house, a cottage out in Malibu, and her kids and everyone grew up out there. And I said, come on out, you're from Colorado, you ski. It's just, she said, have you surfed? It's just like skiing but wetter. And so they took me out, and so many people with experienced directors, writers, producers in the environment, because I wanted to go to film school, and I was living in a garage, and I was working 5 jobs, and I wanted to film narratives and lost narratives, especially of women. And she took me out, and we talked about her family and everything. Tamara Hoffs, and her daughter was of the Bengals, and uh, I was out there in the water with their kids and friends surfing. What a sight.
Are
What a
you
sight. I love water. I love water sports. I love what they were sharing with me to expand my ability and interest and curiosity. And I could use later in films water sports, such as when Kawasaki wanted me to show the first watercraft, the jet ski, because I was the number one action person in films, and they wanted to exhibit in Sheba Baby. And they'd never seen a woman of color, a Black woman, in a wetsuit riding the waves. And
on the
that set it off.
surfboard? On the
That
surfboard.
set it off. All the women said, honey, let's get rid of my shoes. I want a jet ski. And invite the boys to the lake, So um, I had wonderful opportunities to. I didn't own a jet ski, we couldn't, but I could experience certain things in life to bring to my work, to bring to my courage and confidence. And that's what kids and people need. And right now with the climate issues, and we have shortages here and fires there and this and that, to be prepared and use your confidence. You take small steps, you still move forward. And so I wanted to bring that to films. And they said, wow, she's busy. Yeah. But I wanted to learn writing and screenwriting and how to light a scene, how to cast a crew, just learn filmmaking, because I didn't go to film school. You learn it in business school, certain things like how to build your audience. How do you find your audience so you can budget your finances toward either breaking even and paying the banks back. And one thing I can bring to you, probably we can short forward fast to it. There might be the slowdown in our industry because we basically pillaged the banks. We made over expensive films that made no money, and they knew it. Everyone got paid. You don't see any actors giving the money back. So you keep depleting the
Right.
banks, there's nothing. And so they're saying, well, it's taking time to get. No, y'all shot yourself in the foot. Okay. So I'm hoping I can do my next films to produce, maybe direct the end, write, all of the things. They won't even be over 10 million. We can get it done. It'll look good. If Roger Corman, it's in that Rolling Stone magazine said that my first movie, The Big Dollhouse, was 125,000. But it cost 125,000, the whole movie, and it grossed 10 million.
Wow. Wow.
There. So I understand that formula because I come from the old school of AIP and Roger Corman. How to squeeze the dime, how to make it work, how to make things work. We should not be at a standstill. It was a $6 billion industry. Now it's a $2 billion. Why is that? If you go on the top, above the line, above the line, what do they call it? A-listers. Look at those A-listing bombs. Ain't paid any money back to the money isn't sitting on the table, it's a mortgage.
Now,
That's what you finance.
how old were you when you made The Big Dollhouse?
19, 20.
1920. That was your
Mm-hmm.
very first movie.
And I worked 5 jobs, and after I finished it, I went back to my regular jobs. Every time I did a film, I went back to my 9 to 5 because I didn't want to spend that money that I earned acting in a film, because that was my tuition. I wanted to get into UCLA Film School. I didn't think I would be in front of the camera. I thought I'd be behind the camera doing something like that, because I was taller than most women and most actors. The men could rest their heads on my shoulders. I'm a big, tall country girl. So Gina Davis and Kristen Lottie, and she played it in Alien. I love her. Sigourney Weaver. We could start a basketball team with all of us. So, with all of our girls, we got gigantic girls. Yeah, I told you not to date that guy with the big head because it's gonna hurt when you have a baby with him. But anyway, so we received certain roles of independent women, and not the love interest, but we were pretty tall, and I fit that. And so I said, I don't have a chance in hell to get romantic movies or anything like that, all the fantasy stuff that everyone's dreaming about. I am not going to be the Marilyn Monroe, but I bounce around a lot. I can ride a horse, I can swim, I can dive, I can ski, I can surf. So I'm hoping to make certain activities for women normal, which hadn't been seen in film. So that was a real goal, and I didn't think I could survive it because I didn't have a stunt person. Nor, Holly, I didn't have a stunt bra. I didn't have a
So
sport,
no, no
no
sport
sport
bra.
bra,
No sport
no
bra.
sport bra. And then I know you're going to ask me, this is food for thought. Quentin in the Pam's Coffee Cafe in Los Angeles, that is based on the poster of coffee. Then in 1972, I wore that midriff showing bra that they wear today everywhere.
Yes.
You know, I was 50 years ahead of my time,
Of course
running
you
around
were.
fighting crime in a bra.
I'm dying to see your closet. You keep saying that you don't wear dress up anymore. You never go anywhere, but I
I
know
like Alexander McQueen. Come on.
your closet must be
No,
rooms and rooms and rooms.
no, no, no. It isn't. It really isn't. I like certain pieces, artistic pieces. Some I find not cost prohibitive, but I can wear it one time and I can wear it. I can't wear it again because it's so beautifully crafted and expensive that you can't clean it.
Hmm.
It's almost you hang it up, throw it away, give it to some. And I feel that's a waste to wear a dress that's $12,000, $15,000. I'd love it. They're so beautifully sewn. Oh my God. I could just eat all the time. But I won't bring it home. There's certain pieces I'll bring home, but mainly it's Native American, suede, fringe, riding wear. Every time I wear my riding joppers, everyone thinks I'm being a trend style trender. No, it's just what's closest to my hand when I reach in the closet. And denim shirts with embroidery on the back or something. But I'm pretty laid back, a minimalist. I don't like a lot of stuff. I can go to my friends' closets and just sit there in the middle of it. It's the size of a house. And look at, you know, color coordinated. Here are the white clothes. Here's the pink clothes. Here's the all that. And just be in awe. Me, I'm the same way, but a lot less.
But I
But
love,
I
I
love
love,
shoes. I love
I,
shoes.
I know we love shoes. Me and you, we love shoes. And I love that when you were coming up through the 80s, your different hairstyles that you had, the crop top, which is certainly back, the low-waisted jeans, the
The
silver
nerve of
belt.
me. But you know what? I did wear back in the 80s. There was a shop by his name was Tommy, and I wore Gianni Versace. Beautiful clothing, beautiful fabrics, and I'd wear it until they just fell apart. Uh, Giorgio Armani. I would go to his store and he would say, you're a size 2. And I'm going, no, I'm not. I'm like a 12. He says, no, you are nothing. Everything will fit you. And I was afraid because everything fit me and I wanted to buy everything because it was so beautifully designed. And I had Vogue magazine and Bazaar, and I loved the clothing. I love diaphanous pieces. I love organza, tulle. You know what my favorite show is? Say Yes to the Dress.
That's your favorite show.
I always wanted to get married. I always wanted to wear a beautiful wedding dress. Randy Finoli, I love his designs and colors and stuff. I just love that fantasy, even though it's everyone's reality, but I always wanted that. So when I see people wear, samples, designer dresses for the red carpet, I'm not even envious them because I know you wear it once and then that's it. For my Golden Globe, I wore Valentino. He lent a $25,000 gown to me. Gorgeous black veil, everything train. Someone stepped on it and
Oh
ripped it, and
no.
I was torn. And I was so torn about it. They invited me to their shows and Fashion Week, and I get invited to Fashion Week, but I have more things to do because I'm not going to really buy any of the clothing, and they're all samples. And where am I going to go? Down to the barn and show
Yes.
my horses like, hey,
Yes.
this is the new couture this year. And so I rather see it on other people fashion and admire certain things, certain shoes, things that I like to wear over and over and over again. And you know who one of my fashion icons is? Diane Keaton. When we did Palms together, she wore some outrageous clothing and shoes and boots, and I would say, "Where'd you get those?" And she'd tell me where, and I go, "Oh, those shoes are just $85,000." Really?
She has
But I
great taste. She
love
has
her
great
so
taste.
much, and it's like she said, "Well, I don't dress up a lot." I said, "We don't go places a lot. Most of us, because we have kids and life and family, and where do you put stuff?" And I always worry about how to maintain them. I want to treasure, maintain. They're like pieces, museum pieces to me. And I'm not. I'm dogs are all over me. Horses are
Three.
pulling on me. I'm always ripping something, and then I feel torn that I've destroyed something so beautifully designed in the fabrics. So I admire them in the shops. I'll go to what's there's a store in California, Beverly Hills, where it's nothing but the top end shops, and just look at, and I'll go in, and of course they're like, oh, money is just walked in the store, everything's gonna fit you. And I'm just looking at the fabrics, oh my God. And who's not Alexander McQueen, but with the peak shoulder pads, you probably know as a stylist that they wear. Michael Jackson wore them, and some of they wear their blazers, and they
Mm-hmm.
have these nice peaked,
Mm-hmm.
shoulders. Oh, I love that look. It's just a fabulous look. It's just certain things, and I like to mix textures. You know, um, I like vegan. I've been wearing a lot of the vegan pants because they don't wrinkle in my luggage when I have to go to places and just shake it out. Remember back in the day, you could wear sequins and beads and everything, and have the hotel press it. And today, no, you better wear something that's wrinkle free. Take it out in the shower because beads and sequins. So I did that one time, and that was the last time I did it. Someone had tried to iron the sequins and melted the
Oh
sequins into the fabric.
no. I
It was
know.
an expensive piece. I just said, I'm done. I can't do it. Because you need to travel with a stylist. You need people to meet you there. You need to bring in your samples or dresses. That doesn't fit. Pin that there. And I don't have that time. I'm a wiggle worm. Just to do 8 hours of hair and 8 hours of makeup and then another 8 hours of clothing, I'm out. I'm done.
Ooh, honey, that's a lot. That's a
I
lot.
need to drink. I need to drink. So,
Well,
but to have it done, prepared, because I respect the institution of the red carpet and Fashion Week. And many times I was invited to Fashion Week, sit and watch, and everything is like, oh, that'd be so. And I got, oh, who's lost at the airport? Okay, what happened over here? So I have real life that sets in, but every chance I get, if I could do it, I would love. And you know who's been really dressing outrageously beautiful? Is Cardi B. She's got all these stylists, and have you seen some of the outfits
yes.
and the designers? They save a lot for her, because she's a great mannequin for the buyers. You want to see that instead of wish they had that dress or the fabric, and I think she's a mannequin for a lot of the designers. Me, I can't even hold still for a zipper. Yeah,
Well, look,
not even.
you have earned your keep. Let me tell you, you have been through the ringer when it comes to hair, makeup, style, just like you said. But I want to go back to you said your favorite show was Say Yes to the Dress. I know that you
It is.
I know
It
that you
is.
dated Richard Pryor and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now, were you close to marriage any of those times?
Yes, Kareem, I wasn't going to become a Muslim woman because I wouldn't be able to wear a wedding dress. It would be a
Oh.
veil, cover up, different tradition. Um, and I wasn't fond of walking. I just could not adhere to it because I had a short amount of time to understand, embrace it. He had 3 years, I had 3 months. And with Richard, I didn't think I would marry him because lived a simple, I wanted to live the simple life in Colorado, and California was not that. And I would be more in his world than us sharing a world. I loved his children. They came and visited. And he always gave me, kept giving me rings and fur coats and things. We're gonna get married. Silence, crickets. And I wouldn't live with him, and he always wanted me to live with him. Everybody else wants to live with me. I said, I am my own place, and I go back home. I like back home. He says, you got a man back home? Yes. What is his name? Daddy Ray. He's my grandfather. I want to meet him. We had to go meet him, and he met my grandfather, and they hit it off famously. We talked about fishing, tying flies. My grandfather was a Western, real Western man, and Richard liked that. They all liked that fantasy of having a rural environment to seek sanctuary in, and he wanted to, build a relationship with my grandfather, but it still didn't. I could not see an image of me marrying and having my family over here and Richard's family over there and all of that. Not that I felt it wasn't for the ingenue or younger woman for an older woman, but more mature but it's just, I just couldn't see that. But today I see it.
You
I
do.
don't know who it's going to be,
Okay.
but I see me somewhere in Napa Valley among the vineyards with folks under the vines and the trellises and the long, it would be, I've already planned, it would be a ceremony with all the family and whoever, sat down where in a long table. And after we say the I do's, everybody sit down and eat and drink, no huzza buzzer. It's just like, I'm just that simple in a way, kind of not fussy with stuff and having to go from room to room and it's placemats and colors and all this. Like after I said I do, everybody sit down and eat, and then drink and dance later if you can. But I'm kind of that type of person. I've always been, not so much of formality. I really like the simple tradition. Like I've seen it. We've seen it today. How people, young couples, marry with efficiency, but still beauty and passion. But it's not so flamboyant. It's not.
How did you stay so grounded being in Hollywood and having all these people coming at you and you being single and you not falling into the stereotypical traps that most young actresses fall into?
Um. Well, in California, in Los Angeles, there's this place, mythical land called Hollywood, and you can't grasp onto it because there's so many levels of people in their own cultures and money and dynamics and cars and semi-cultures and microcosms. So you can't really latch onto anything. I played a lot of tennis and did well. I surfed and I met people. But I really felt I wasn't seasoned enough or mature enough, and nor were I going to spend the amount of resources and money that they had. And little did I know, some of my most arduous, just incredible actors, they're minimalists as I am. They save everything because they'll have kids, after taxes, it takes 50%, and they got to live off of that for, 3, 4, 5 years with kids in Los Angeles with the high taxes, the high everything. And I just felt, and do what? You just tennis court, shopping, tennis court, shopping. I want to go fishing, horseback riding, climbing, skiing. And they would come to Aspen, but only stay there for a few weeks. That's not for me. I would want to and I did live there a couple of years. I loved it. I love the mountains. I love being outdoors. But and a lot of people from my industry would come there and leave. And every time they came, they would relax and get creative and have fun and then go back to Hollywood or the place where they work, and it's stress
Right.
and it's disappointment, and it's just negative, 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 and they're pretending that everything's great and it's not. And basically I said, well, when do you get a chance to get out of the trees, get out of the forest to see the trees and see everything and look in and go and find new content and new things to do? basically they said, we've got to make our money now. We've got to have 3 hits and sock it away. We don't know how long we'll be as an executive in the building. So this is what we have to do. And we're challenged every day to show up. So the head of the company calls us, we're all there. And sometimes they don't get a chance to go fishing, go biking, mountain biking, do things rarely, unless it's with their kids later. And I saw too much time was, being not wasted, but not utilized. And I didn't want to do that. I said, no. And they said, well, how can you live in Colorado, live outside of our industry for so long? And they said, out of sight, out of mind. I said, they call me. They said, come on, can you do this, do that? And John, I love John Carpenter would call me, and Tim Burton, and pay me like I won an Oscar. And I had a huge fan base through them. And same way with Quentin, through them. And I love to play, to have fun. You can be serious all day long, but to do John Carpenter, you would love this girl. He wanted me to play Escape from LA, Snake Plissken's friend who was a man. And John Carpenter, everybody wants to work. I gotta be silly. I've done this, action, serious, love, lost, killed, maimed action movie. John Carpenter calls me and he says, hey, Pam, I want you to play a role with Kurt Russell. You're going to be his friend, Hershey Las Palmas, and you're going to play a woman. I'm going to play a woman?
I would hope so.
John, I am a woman. He said, yes, I know. But now you've got to let the audience know that you were a man and now you're a woman. I'm like, John, is there a shortcut here? What are you talking about? He says, I want you to come in, dress up as the character, and meet me and Kurt, Warner Brothers at this stage. I'm like, John, he said, I'm going to pay you a lot of money. John, stop it. Stop dangling in front of me. So he said, come on, can you do it? I said, yeah, let me think.
How can you say no to that?
You can't say no. How do I play a man? A lot of women don't play men.
Yeah.
Men play women all the time. They can put stuff abroad, put on lipstick, wig, and hair, and act, Medea, hi, baby. But me, I can't walk in there and say, hi, baby. I can't do that. So I got to be Pam, kind of exotic, feisty, and I have to have a man's voice. Okay, let my armpit hair grow out. So when I lift my arms, you can see. So I cut off the sleeves of a denim shirt, tied it at the waist, a la coffee, and had some jeans, and I wore some Village people boots.
Nice.
Some Timberland boots. And I said, okay, I just look like a girl. I just look like Pam. There's no challenge. There's no mystery to me. I'm gonna fail. I don't know how to do this. What would I do? What would I do? Okay, so I got it. What do men look like when they walk down the street in pants or shorts or tights or what? They have a bulge. Okay, I gotta get a bulge.
A sock.
I stuffed the sock in my leggings, did my makeup, and I looked down and my sock had flattened out.
Oh no.
It was a flat ass sock. I went, oh, I don't know where anything is. What do I stuff it with? It's just, I can't, I'm losing time. I got to be there in 15 minutes. There's a pavilion across the street. So I backed up, pulled over there, and I went over to the vegetable department looking. So, okay, I got to find something to stuff the sock. Okay. And I'm standing there, people are looking at me, and I'm okay, we have squash, zucchini, and cucumber. Okay, so I'm looking at them. So I pick the cucumber up and I hold it down at my crotch, and people are looking at me going, I said, what do you think? And one lady said, I said, I don't want to walk in there with a crutch. I want to be able to walk. I just need something that shows that I'm a man. And another lady said, zucchini. And I said, okay, let me try. And so I said, 6, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She picked the one for me. And I said, okay. I put the zucchini in my crotch. And yeah, it stayed up nice and firm. Okay, didn't fall down to my ankles. Okay, I think this is the one. Okay, I think I got it. All right. So I get in a car, drive back over to John's office, and I get out the car and I start walking like a homeboy. Hey, how you doing, man? What's up? What's up? And I'm holding my Johnson, holding my zucchini. Hey, how you doing? And so I drag in to the reception desk, and all the crew members are, loading their truck, their equipment truck, and then these guys say, "Hey, you know that that man really looks like Pam Grier," because they had looked at my zucchini and assumed I was a man.
Ah, I see. Look at
Okay,
you.
so
Look
I
at
got the,
you.
so I said, "Wow, I think I got this." So, and it was a good sized zucchini. They were impressed, and so I walked over to the door and said, "Hey, John, yo, what's up, John? Here's Hershey. Open the door, man." And so, and I seen a lot of black guys, brothers talk like that. So he opens up the door and he looks up and he looks down right at my zucchini, Dick Johnson, whatever they want to call it. And he starts laughing hysterically. He starts laughing and coughing. I thought I gave him a heart attack. He was like looking that Pam actually wore, a zucchini in her pants, but it was an impressive zucchini. It had just enough curve. And then he says, "Kurt, come over here and meet Pam. Come over." And Kurt comes over and he goes to stand his hand and he looks down at my zucchini because I didn't know men checked each other out. They check out each other's zucchini to see how big it is. And so Kirk started laughing and they both started laughing at me. And John said, "You got the part. You got the part.
Oh,
We
that's
didn't think you
awesome.
could do it. We didn't think you could do it." And that's how I got paid. I got John Carpenter, and then I got another job with Mars. It was a Ghost of Mars. And so I felt, okay, I've got some craft there. And they would do that in theater, Shakespeare. So I said I did my Shakespearean zucchini to land a job, and it was effective because they thought I was a guy, even though I had this face. I walked in, sauntered in. "Hey, yo, what's up? Hi, I'm Pam Grier. I'm here to see John Carpenter." And they looked and said, "Oh, that guy really looks like Pam Grier." So I knew I had learned my craft. At some point, you got to wear a zucchini. But and even with Tim Burton, I just everyone, and Ray Bradbury, I could go on and on some of the best, writers, producers, directors that I got to work with because I didn't mind being silly.
You're always so authentic. Every time I've worked with you, you're so authentic. I love working with you. You're you no matter what situation you're in. You're always the same. And that's what makes you to be so unique and special and why I enjoy talking to you. And I wanted all of our listeners to get to know you and love you as well, because those of the us who
Oh,
are younger, those of people who are younger might not be as familiar with your career. That's why you are so remarkable to even come on and talk to us, because there are so many things that keep you grounded just as you don't change for anybody. You're always been the same and you don't chase, you attract. And that's what I love about you. So you are so,
that's physics,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
physics. You as a stylist who has to dress someone who has barriers, insecurities about their body, colors, textures, corduroy things. I walk in and I'm terrified of the stylist going, "What?" And I'm terrified of them saying, "You would look good in that." And we try it on. "Oh no, it's wrong." It's
Hmm.
disappointment. But it's that not being gullible, but being agape, open to learning. And everything that I have on fabric, I wouldn't have worn if it hadn't been for, if you say a stylist who said, "Pam, these prints would look good on you. Look at these colors. Look at these would be fabulous on you." I wear them now all year round. Matter of fact, when I buy the outfit, it's linen, a blouse and shirt. I buy 3 sets because they won't make it next year, and I'll wear this out and it'll be torn and ripped and I can wear the next one.
Hmm.
I don't have a lot of clothing. That's why my closet isn't that, full. But when I do like something, I'll buy it in threes.
And your
They,
horses are impressed with because you do dress up when you walk in. I know they're impressed. They talk about you.
I've worn my pajamas in the barn and danced. And they love it. And I'll do my doo-wop, doo-wop, doo-wop. And they go, oh, mom, she's acting silly with us again. Yay. And it's I can be as crazy and zany in the barn. But I just think I love your wisdom and beauty and gifts and things that, make you excited and passionate and share. And you would say, Pam, girl, take that off. That thing that and I like that when someone says, Pam, we know you like that in the barn and at home, but today, no. um I have a meeting at the Polo Lounge coming up, and they said, and I said, we're at the Polo Lounge. Well, I play polo, and they go, no, this is in Beverly Hills. And I said, well, is it a jacket, a dress up? Can I wear flip flops? No, 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 no. I said, okay, so, what do I wear? And so they were telling me about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so, oh my God, what do I wear? What am I wear? A silk Armani blazer, dressy. It's going to be hot. And by the way, I do dress for the weather.
Mm-hmm.
Fall colors, textures. I can wear linen a lot, and I like to sleep in linen because it's organic cotton, not a lot of synthetics, anything like that. Silk makes me sweat, and I love silk. I love it when it's dry and cold, but not when I'm sleeping. I'm just going to stick to everything. But there's certain materials. I like to buy all those J. Jill and what do you call it? Banana Republic linens, and wash them until they're really soft, and I wear them as pajamas or
Oh, okay.
lounge wear.
Mm-hmm.
They're especially when they're on sale, and they get really soft, and you can wash them a lot and wear them a lot and not worry about. I love the frilly, beautiful silks and stuff that I see and the pages of fashion magazines, and I could wear them for an hour. The feather, they're going to stick, they're going to be, and I love the craftsman, I love the design, I appreciate that. But on me, I'm pretty much pragmatic, pretty, simple. But I love soft, wornish, even leather, you know um and cottons. But I'm an organic kind of person. And it's not because I now if I'd had a staff that could take care of my wardrobe exclusively, and every button sewn on, and every rip sewn up and taken care of to the cleaners, or this and that, then maybe I would have a lot of clothing. But still I would forget, Pam, you need to start at this end. This is what you wore the last time. Go to this end and see what you like, and we'll press it for you and make sure it's perfect on you, and you look camera ready. I'm like, I would break out in hives, like, what? So, and I do, I'm not irritable. And I do like the fact that people have set aside clothing and selected them before I get there, and put together the jacket, the pants, the skirts, the shoes, and accessories, so I won't have to, that they could see it on me. And if it doesn't work, I can take it off and change it right away. And we don't eat up time and make people crazy. But I get kind of nervous when maybe it's because it hasn't been done and now I have to do it. But if it's done for me, I can just say, you picked it out, so you're responsible if it doesn't look good.
And
It
that's
was not,
exactly
it,
right.
it wasn't me. I'm blaming you. But usually 105%, the stylist knows your color of skin,
Mm-hmm.
the hair, the size of the hair. That's why if I do get a chance to have a wedding ceremony, I would have someone who would be with me to look at the fabrics and, okay, it's outdoors, how long, the ceremony, getting dressed, getting out there with everybody, and after we say I do's and kiss and hug and stuff, music comes on, and everyone sits down, starts eating and drinking and meeting each other, and then after that, dancing. But I'm going to have someone with me who can guide me into the right um ensemble.
Well,
Or
I
just
volunteer.
well, okay then.
I
Okay.
volunteer to help you with your wedding dress.
Um, but to have, the right dress for the weather.
Right.
And I love shrugs, I love capes, I love things that would protect the outfit. But once we're under something, or indoors, it's, to eat, meet people, dance, say hello, goodbye, hope you had a great time. Not an all day thing for people, but just
As
the right fabric.
as you ride down the aisle on your horse of your
No,
choice.
I was going to. One of my horses was white, Chansey Lakota. I thought I was going to be getting married in Colorado, ride in on her with the veil and the stuff, and it didn't happen. I was like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. But some people are allergic to horses, and my horses are fine around everybody, but I have to respect, other people. Come down and visit them later when you're not allergic. So, but just to have everyone's waiting and getting it, I don't want it to be an all day 4 or 5 hour thing, just 3 4 hours, and then go enjoy the hotel, the vineyards, biking, wine, and if there's kids, I hope the kids are old enough to come and hang out. But yeah, but just the right, there's just some fabrics that are awesome that I've seen. I didn't even know the names of the designers, but I went online, and I love him. He worked with him the show forever, Randy Fanola. A lot of his designs are beautiful. What do you call it? Fish, a line,
Mermaid,
or
mermaid.
mermaid, and flowy.
Mm-hmm.
Ethereal flowy. Not too stricted, because I always feel it stops air circulation. My metabolism is, people touch my hand in the winter and say, "You're so hot." I have a high metabolism, and so I'm warm all the time. I think that's why people like to stand next to me in the theater lobbies, and dogs lay across me, because I'm just so hot. Forever hot flashes or something. I don't know what it is, but I'm just warm all the time. So just to have something off my shoulders and free and flowy would be perfect outdoorsy. But yeah, if I have something like that. So, I might be 90, and you might have to
Okay.
roll me up the hill.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
Roll
And
me up the hill.
Pa- Pam, what do you have going on now? What projects are you working on? What can we look forward to from you?
The my life story, um, Foxy My Life in Three Acts, was released by Jeff Bezos when he was the head of Amazon in 2010. And he and his readers loved it so much, they released it 3 months before it was published. And it came out number 20 New York Times bestseller list, and just like went through the roof. I promoted it for 2 years. Fabulous, story. It can't be a 7 hour movie, but it's going to be a series. And each chapter will be like a 20 day production episode. And that would be great. And then we're thinking of rebooting Foxy Brown and a coffee. And there's a film where I'll be a stripper, and pole dancing I've already started. I'm really good at
Nice.
that. I
Very
love
nice.
spin. I love spinning. The problem with, you'll have to help me, is when you have to wear those 10-inch stiletto
Yeah, we got to
shoes.
practice. We got to
Yeah,
practice.
yeah, with the fish in them and everything. And then a couple of other projects I won't mention, but there's one I'm being given the Lifetime Achievement Award for Black Belt Magazine for bringing martial arts to films, and that's next week. There's going to be a big, kind of, not, I guess, gala. As long as they don't throw my agents to the ground, I'm fine. I have the feeling it's going to be mayhem there. But anyway, but I'm being given this award for bringing martial arts to films for women,
Amazing.
and
Amazing.
being the first one. And what I did in many instances was correct the film industry when they try to bundle up all the different forms, with internal kung fu, with external karate, and with taekwondo and something else, and it's all mishigas, messed up. And so I would always say, this is how you misinform people. You have to it correctly teach people. For example, Animal House, this uh, animated cartoon show had a bull that was telling everybody about how to be courageous and strong, and the bull was standing up and had udders, and the kids, my neighborhood said, Auntie Pam, we saw this movie and the bull had udders. Only cows who have milk and kids have udders, not this guy with the deep voice. I said it was a mistake. I'll call them right away. So, anyway, so just to, and I've done Bob's Burgers
Oh,
and the Great
fun.
North animation. I love animation, and a few other things that haven't come out yet that you'll hear about that I've done. And so yeah, I've been busy. So I hope everything I do touches everyone and gives them a chance to enjoy their lives while they're home with their kids on a budget. We had the pandemic, no one worked for 3 years, and then the strikes for fourth years. Most people can't live 4 years without working.
Of
And so
course.
just getting everybody, back into the groove of, okay, not being so wasteful, enjoying what we have. And now I'm going to sneak in and with the brown nipple revolution and basically create havoc with everyone, because I thought if they're still seeing Foxy Brown 50 years later.
That is so
Well,
exciting. And it must be so flattering that you are still in such high demand and people know you and want to work with you. And you're the same. You're still the same. You're like an everlasting character that just never ages. And it is so interesting to hear your stories and everything. We could never cover a whole lifetime of Pam Grier in an hour, but I want you to
no, we
leave.
can have part two.
We could have part two. We will
We're going to
definitely
have
have
a
part
part
two.
two. We're going to have a part two as things evolve.
Love
As
it.
soon as I get the okay to talk about things,
Yes,
but
ma'am. We can't
yeah,
wait.
we'll have plenty to talk about, explore, experiment with. Um, there's just so much. I love being a beacon. And when Amazon gave us the series, them, the scare, which is I'm playing right now, horror. They had a luncheon for all the women actresses um, in the industry that played my daughter. My daughter's in Fresh Prince,
Oh,
Alicia, a lot of act, and they all were at this luncheon. And because when I started, Holly, there was no women on the set. I was at coffee by myself, alone. No female actors except for atmosphere extras, none in the offices, none in crew, craftsmen, executive office, nothing. Fast 50 years later, we have women in film in various areas, all types. Writing, direct, Issa Rae, um, Raven Simone is an incredible director. Just an explosion of young women who saw me do it. Go, I want to play with her. If she can do it, I want. And that's the adult that the children see. Going back to the beginning of our conversation, that I was an adult in many facets, military, rural, and urban. Um, Grassroots coffees based on my mom, a nurse who stood up to all the gangsters that came in and tried to hide and steal and run crazy. And she's from Cheyenne. She's a Western woman, ain't taking no guff. Guff. Heavens to Betsy, where those ever came from. And Foxy Brown was my aunt who wanted to be an architect, and she drove a Harley
nice.
motorcycle. And
Wow.
today, fast forward, they now have electric ones, which is like the Jetsons. But those were the women then who weren't exposed in film, but were in our realities and were the teachers. So they gave me my classroom, and I gave all these young women who became actors, executive, crew member, whatever. They came to my classroom, and
And
now more can come to their classrooms.
And you're still doing that today. You haven't slowed down a bit. You are still teaching. And like you said, you're a beacon for so many women your age, so many women that are just getting to know you, but coming back and relaunching these movies, Foxy Brown and coffee, and having the actual coffee shop in LA, which is so fun. I know that that has launched as well. It's so exciting to see what you're going to do next. And we're so grateful to have you on the show and to be friends with you and to have you just tell your stories. We could sit here for hours and hours, but you will come back for a part two, you promise.
There will be a part two and a part three, and possibly in there, possibly a wedding, which would be great. It'd be hysterical.
Well, I'm
Um,
excited. I'm excited,
um,
and we are going to be dress shopping ASAP as soon as you
where
give
at
me.
Kleinfeld's? At
Um,
Kleinfeld's?
we just might. You never know. You might be
I
the
gotta go to
next.
Kleinfeld's just to walk through there and see the paninas and all these incredible designers, just the fabrics. I just wanted to call them up and say, can I just walk through there and just look?
Well, you can
Nothing right
always just
now,
look.
but I just want to go in there and just you look around and touch and feel and ooh and look at that because
Well,
I've watched it for 15 years.
Well, I'm sure they are so thrilled to have you as a viewer. And who know, you might be the next contestant, the next guest on Say Yes to the Dress. Who knows?
I
Anything
could
can
be
happen.
with my stylist.
That's right. With me, we might be looking linking arm in arm. Who knows? But we will be right there with you, and we are so grateful to you. We love you so much. I know you got to go. You've got a very tight schedule. Thank you so much for joining us, and we cannot wait to hear part two and the rest of your stories and what's happening with you in the land of Pam Grier, Foxy Brown,
Soon,
coffee.
soon,
Soon,
soon.
soon, soon. Have a wonderful day and give us a final thought. Give us a mantra, a truth bomb that you live by, something quick.
I live by give what you want most.
Love it. Give what you want most. I will write that down. We will meditate on that. We will visualize a wedding with you as guests at your wedding. And we cannot wait to see you again, Pam.
And not in flip-flops.
Not in flip flops. No, ma'am. Not in flip flops.
I
Not.
might be in riding boots. They're very tall black boots. They're very sexy to people, but I don't think you'd let me wear them. I think we'd have to all go white. Pam,
One thing
take
at a
those off
time.
now. Take them off now.
We'll get the dress first. Then we'll accessorize. One step at a time. One step at a
I don't
time.
want to accessorize. I
We
just
love
want
you,
it.
Pam.
Uh,
We love you
okay.
so much. We'll see you back for part two. Have a great
Yes.
day. And thank
Uh,
you so much to all the fashion besties out there for listening to this exclusive on air interview with the one, the only Foxy Brown, Pam Grier. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Have a fabulous, fashionable week. Bye.